All right, guys, we just got out of seeing Blue Beetle. No Sam tonight. Alberto, what'd you think?
You know, cuando vi la película,
Whoa, whoa.
pensé, whoa,
Calm down,
I'm
buddy.
sorry.
Calm
I'm
down.
sorry.
No, just kidding, guys. Blue Beetle was great. The reason I have Alberto talking in Spanish over here is because I had to bring one of the true ones out here to this movie that just had a ton of Latino representation. That was actually a huge part of the movie. And I think that's honestly why we had some big laughs
Yeah, like
in
it's
this
just
movie for sure.
it's not just like the music that they show. Is like, hey, you
Oh,
grew
dude,
up,
from the jump, the music, we're like,
a lot of the music that like you listen to, but it's not just that. It's like the terms that you listen, what
Yeah.
your grandparents said, what your parents say to you, what you say with friends and cousins.
Yeah.
It's the nicknames and the constant nicknames and the
Yeah.
the family talking shit.
Yeah,
behind
this is
your
like
back,
everybody's grandma's house. You're like, yeah, bro, my grandma had that same painting in her house for 50 years.
Exactly, dude. It's like something happens with the girl, and everybody in your family is like, "Oh, like there he is."
Dude, it was very
it was
good.
fun.
You definitely have to. I mean, really, anybody that comes from a family can understand the love and the importance of a family, but specifically a Hispanic family,
Yeah.
like we resonated with huge. I didn't have too high expectations for this movie,
I agree.
but literally from beginning to end, I really enjoyed it. I think a lot of it was, I don't want to say CW-ish.
A DC movie.
It was a
movie.
DC. It was an old DC movie, and yes, it's part of the old DC lineup and everything. But some of it was very Power Ranger like. The villain particularly, and I love Susan Sarandon. I do. I adore her. Her villain was just, I thought,
Generic.
terrible.
Yeah. One
Like
thing,
just the most annoying villain ever.
I agree. Very generic. That's my interpretation of it. It's like very generic bad guy, like always like in any movie. One thing I would say though, when it comes to like a lot of like the CG stuff in this movie, again, it's like your normal DC stuff that you're going to see. One thing I enjoyed was the choreography of the fights.
Yeah, the fights were actually very
because
good.
his suit wasn't like a CG suit. For the most part, right? You can tell that he was actually wearing something like for real. Like they were able to actually do more choreography on the fights and make it look more real and feel. Even though it's a superhero movie, it felt.
He probably did a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen Cobra Kai, but like he's big in the show, so I'm guessing
sure
he
he's
does
done
the
a
same
ton of
stunts.
stuff. And the movie itself is
Was
kind of
good.
generic. Again, a kid gets superpowers and struggles with the superpowers and beats the bad guy. Like, it's fine the way it is, but if you like Blue Beetle or you have any sort of interest in his story, I think you'll really enjoy it. I definitely, from what I'm being told, the character's sticking around. I hope they do. I hope they just keep him and Jenny around, because Jenny's great.
Jenny?
We love Jenny.
La Jenny?
We also love George Lopez.
Oh
the whole,
my God,
honestly, the whole family.
cast, the whole family was honestly good. And one thing I will also say, there's a specific scene, and I told you this earlier.
Oh yeah, Alberto did the second the lights went up. I was like, I know, bro.
There's a specific scene that, for me personally, it hit me hard.
Yeah.
And if you've been through it, it's just going to hit you.
The Latino Hispanic like representation in this movie, you're like, oh man, because we're like back and forth the whole time, like So like that's a big part of this movie. Anyone can enjoy this movie. I mean, it's a great movie. I thought it was gonna be super for kids,
cheeky, like cheesy, and it wasn't.
Yeah, it was more. It was definitely more grown up than I was expecting. So I really enjoyed it. I definitely would not mind giving it a second watch. Light crowd tonight, so we'll kind of see where box office lands up. But if not, we'll try to get a full review up for you guys. If you saw it tonight, this weekend, at any point, let us know what you thought. Super curious. But I mean, early reaction, I could go 7.5, 8 possibly. Early though, it'll change by
Early?
tomorrow, but I think for the most part, it was definitely better than I was expecting. So I'm super happy.
Same way, I have
Very bummed it's not in El Paso. They gave some sad El Paso nod,
God,
and
I
I'm
was
like, bro,
upset.
you guys
I
can't
was
even
upset.
fix the. It's supposed to take place in El Paso. It didn't. They like tried to fix it right away, and I'm like, it's not in El Paso. It doesn't.
It's
matter.
not the same. It doesn't feel the same.
But it was great. I'll definitely recommend checking it out. So if you guys do, let us know what you thought, and hopefully we'll get a full review for you guys super soon. Peace.